Welcome to Art Confidential. Today we're looking at wildlife artists that use pastels and charcoal. Today we are going to look at Julie Rhodes. Julie is a realism wildlife artist focusing on big cats. Many of her artworks are life-size and larger than life. She has been a professional artist for over 20 years. Here you can see many of her details in her artworks. Working from her UK studio, she sells paintings, pastel works, drawings to collectors worldwide. Monica Lee is a Malaysian artist. She is obsessed with details. Her work is focused on stunning, photographic, realistic drawings, and it's just amazing to see. Her works appear seemingly identical as drawings. Lee worked in the digital world for 12 years before making the jump to illustrations. She now spends 3 to 4 weeks on a single drawing. The artist attributes her love for hyperrealism to her father, who worked in the field of photography. Photorealism artists have been drawing for over 5 years now, she said. My favorite subject to draw is wildlife and portraiture. I love black and white photographs. Therefore, I use only charcoal and graphite pencils only. Nothing beats getting your hands dirty while drawing with a pencil. Richard Simmons. Richard is a self-taught artist. He has spent the past few decades fine-tuning his techniques so he can realistically portray the wildlife he adores. The artist often paints and draws these animals in an effort to raise funds to help support them, and has worked with notable companies. When he's not designing for a specific cause, Simmons enjoys capturing his favorite creatures in their natural habitats. When viewing the artist's works, one can see that Simmons is included along with other wild animals with unique personalities that he brings to life. Every intricate detail is included along with the animal's unique personality. Feels like the animals are alive on the canvas, he says. There can be nothing better than sitting out in the warm African sun, watching and observing wildlife free in the wild, he said. Here is more of his works. See the attention to detail. Janet Thatcher. Janet lives and works in Canberra. Her highly detailed, often large-scale wildlife studies are created with pastel on velo. Each hair is rendered, creating an intensely tactile and sensory work of art. Her mother, that being able to draw meant that you would never be lonely or bored, she said. To encourage her children to draw, she would place a box of Durant pastel pencils on the table. When asked if we could use them, she would always refuse, telling us that such special pencils could only be used for very special artwork. Of course, I pleaded to use them, vowing I was planning something wonderful so that she would relent. If you had a chance to watch her creative processes on YouTube, you will be very inspired. To this day, I feel a sense of excitement opening a new box of pencils for the first time. This has also had a strong influence on my use of medium. Rather than being tied to a particular tool, I go where inspiration takes me. My artwork conveys emotion, movement, and the sense of an animal, a moment in time to see the individual spirits that lies beneath. Daniel Wilson. He is an A-level biology teacher and part-time wildlife artist. Dan is a multimedia artist who primarily focuses on charcoal drawings and paintings of wildlife. He draws his inspiration for his wildlife art through his keen interest in biology and his love of the natural world. I love to paint and draw animals with distinct patterns or features. Anything with spots or stripes is brilliant for me. If I had to pick one, though, it would be tigers. When I paint, I tend to work in color. The oranges, browns, and blues found in the fur of a tiger are some of my favorite colors to work with. His monochrome charcoal work displays a balance between abstract realism that captures the form and character of the animals he portrays. Here we have Rox Corbett. Rox is an award-winning artist who makes drawings exclusively with charcoal. Instead of being loose sketches of her drawings, they are detailed and textural, and she hopes a little moody. Charcoal is a basic medium, but is capable of great depth and expression. Here are some more of her works. She has been pursuing her art full-time, and her gallery exhibitions are nationally recognized. She's exhibited in museums and shows since 2008, garnering numerous awards. Most important to her is the accurate depiction of the expression and soul of the animals she draws, and to focus on texture, composition, and unexpected cropping as a way of portraying them. Rox lives on a ranch on the Clark's Fork of the Yellowstone River near Cody, Wyoming, with assorted animals, both domestic and wild, to explore. Cole Johnson. Cole grew up in the Catskills mountain region. Hunting, fishing, and spending time in the woods has been the preferred activities most of his life. His favorite subjects include the species he is intimately acquainted with in the field. Although Cole did not study art in high school, he discovered he had a knack of sketching. By graduation, he was featured in a local student art exhibit. Although he has worked in oils, Cole prefers to work in graphite powder. The contrast of black and white appeals to me, says Cole. I enjoy the challenge of making a drawing come to life based solely on tonal value. Incorporating the powdered graphite into his works creates a softness otherwise unobtainable and gives a distinct mood to many of his pieces. Use of the eraser as a tool in the later stages of the drawings allows a reintroduction of light and depth. What do you think? I think these drawings are amazing. Joel Pilcher, he was born and raised in the Rocky Mountains and has always had a passion for the outdoors and the wildlife that reside there. As a kid, when someone asked him if he wanted to, what he wanted to be when he grew up, his answer was always a wildlife artist. He loves the look and feel of black and white on canvas. For over a year, he worked almost strictly in white charcoal on black art board. But in the early 2019s, he decided to expand his horizons and pick up a paintbrush again. Here is more of his works. So what do you think of Kimberly James? Kimberly James is a wildlife artist based in Wales. Here you see one of her works. This will be a small surprise at the end of this video. I've always had love for animals and nature. When I think of art, I think of beauty, and the most beautiful thing to me is the natural world. I endeavor to capture the realistic, fine details of the animal, but in a way that also captures their expressions. If a piece needs to be happy or dramatic, I want to be able to capture the emotion and convey it in a way that shouts at the viewer. She started out using pastels and color pencils in 2015, but discovered a passion for pyrography. Yes, this is pyrography. The mixture of the natural wood grain and imperfections that come with lumber adds another dimension to the artwork, making each piece unique, giving it further character. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Your comments will always be appreciated. Perhaps you can let me know which artists you would like me to explore further. And again, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.